Kia Markie here. I'm doing it again. I'm going to show you another famous spooky person's house briefly, because I don't want to focus the camera on someone's house. So that's the house there on the right. So I'm in Streatham. I've just been to the bank and been buggered about by them. Yeah, and there's no branches. They're all closing, aren't they? So anyway, let's not get into that. So I'm gonna focus the camera on something that's not going to invade anyone's privacy. So I just did a video on Aleister Crowley. I'm in Streatham, and I wanted to visit the place where he lived, which I've just done a video on, and I've got a whole series on Aleister Crowley if you want more. And I happen to be doing just a bit of general googling about Streatham and famous people that lived here at various points, which included, I'm trying to remember now, Floella Benjamin, Paul Merton, I think, and Dennis, can I say Dennis Crowley then? Dennis Wheatley lived here, and that house there was where he lived. He lived in several places in Streatham, haven't been to the others. So I'm going to share you a little story about when Dennis Wheatley met Aleister Crowley, which is kind of quite amusing, but also kind of quite terrifying as well, really, if you think about it. So for those who don't know, Dennis Wheatley wrote black magic themed or occult themed novels, kind of jolly adventure type novels. He's a bit of a controversial character, a bit racist, I think, from what I've heard. I've read a few of his novels, but not recently. And apparently was a bit of a bad one, actually. Was a bit of a dubious character and got into some kind of illegal activities before he kind of got into novel writing. And he always kind of played the character of kind of a very suave, sophisticated gentleman. But we're not sure that he actually ever was that. But there we go. That's Dennis Wheatley. So Dennis Wheatley wanted to talk to Crowley to get some information on the occult to support research for his novels. Now it's always very debated whether Dennis Wheatley was a member of any occult organisations. Differing opinions on that. I think a lot of people that are into the occult say that based on his novels and stuff, it indicates that he knows very little. So I don't know. But he did, and this is in the preface to one of his novels. I can't remember which one. He talked about this meeting with Crowley. So Crowley came round, I think to his place, and I think he bought a very expensive bottle of wine, and was absolutely charming company, very, very helpful. And when he left, he gave him a copy of a ritual, and so this would be a good one for you to perform if you want to get a sense of the occult. And the backstory of this ritual, which Wheatley found out later, was that Crowley did it with somebody else, I think, and something really bad happened, and the other person, I think, was never the same again and was rendered insane, I think was the terminology, and Crowley was pretty much knocked for six. So a very risky operation to perform, and Crowley suggested that Wheatley performed that. And gave him that with a smile, and and Wheatley was very grateful. So that's Crowley for you. As I said in my other videos, he was a psychopath, a very dark sense of humour, among other things. So yeah, luckily Wheatley didn't perform the ritual, and he did find out later what happened when the ritual was performed. But you can never tell if any of this is true with Crowley, because there's so many legends and stories about him. But yeah, Dennis Wheatley. So the most famous one, The Devil Rides Out, which is a cracking, they're good fun adventure novels, and it was a good film as well with oh god, my brain's gone today. Christopher, what's his name? You know what I mean. So yeah, there we go. So two spooky people who lived in Stratford. Stratford? I'm talking... I am not talking clearly because I have a migraine coming. And that kind of makes it very hard for me to speak. And when it comes on fully, sometimes I'll talk absolute gobbledygook. If that tickles you or you find that interesting, check out the video where I'm in the full throes of a migraine and talking absolute nonsense and being interviewed by my colleagues at the time, my erstwhile colleagues, and I'm going, you know, I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm coming out with kind of, you know, not proper words, you know, weird enunciations. Check that one out because it's good fun. So there we go. I won't record anymore because I'm starting to become less and less able to articulate. I hope you enjoyed that little peek of Dennis Wheatley's house. I deliberately didn't want to point the camera at the house for too long to infringe anyone's privacy. I notices neither of these places that I've featured have blue plaques. I thought Dennis Wheatley would have had a blue plaque, but maybe the owner doesn't want one. There we go. I will see you in the next video. Hopefully I will be a bit more coherent. Thank you for watching Rangimarie.